Hi guys, it's me again. This is chapter 5. They're quite short chapters, so it doesn't feel like we've read 4 chapters already. Hope you're enjoying the story so far. We've been introduced to lots of new characters. So we've got Augie, or August is his full name, and this chapter is driving. It was a long drive home. I fell asleep in the back seat like I always do, my head on Via's lap like she's my pillow, a towel wrapped around the seatbelt so I wouldn't drool all over her. Via fell asleep too, and Mum and Dad talked quietly about grown-up things that I don't care about. I don't know how long I was sleeping, but when I woke up there was a full moon outside of the car window. It was a purple night and we were driving on a highway full of cars. And then I heard Mum and Dad talking about me. We can't keep protecting him, Mum whispered to Dad, who was driving. We can't just pretend that he's going to wake up tomorrow and this isn't going to be his reality, because it is. Nate, we have to help him learn to deal with it. We just can't keep avoiding situations that... So sending him off to middle school like a lamb to the slaughter, Dad answered angrily, but he didn't even finish his sentence because he saw me in the mirror looking up. What's a lamb going to slaughter for? I asked sleepily. Go back to sleep, Augie, Dad said softly. Everyone will stare at me at school, I said, suddenly crying. Honey, Mum said. She turned around in the front seat and put her hand on my hand. You know, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. But we spoke to the principal there and told him all about you, and he really, really wants to meet you. What did you tell him about me? How funny you are, and how kind you are, and how smart you are. And when I told him that you read Dragon Rider when you were 6, he was like, wow, I've got to meet this kid. Did you tell him anything else? I said. Mum smiled at me. Her smile kind of hugged you. I told him all about your surgeries and how brave you are, she said. So he knows what I look like, I asked. Well, we brought pictures from last summer in Montauk. We showed him pictures of the whole family and that great shot of you holding that flounder on the boat. Do you remember that? You were there too. I have to admit, I felt a little bit disappointed at this part. Yeah, we both talked to him. He's a really nice man, Dad said. You would like him, Mum said. Suddenly it felt like they were on the same side. Wait. So when did you meet him? I said. Well, he took us on tour of the school last year, said Mum. Last year? I said. So you've been thinking about this for a whole year and you didn't tell me? We didn't know if you even were going to get in, Augie, answered Mum. It's a really hard school to get into. There's a whole admissions process. I didn't see the point in telling you and having you get all worked up unnecessarily. But you're right, Augie. We should have told you when we found out last month that you have got in, said Dad. In hindsight, Mum said, yeah, I guess we should have. Did that lady who came to the house that time have something to do with this? I said. The one that gave me that test? Yeah, actually, said Mum, looking guilty. Yeah. You told me that was an IQ test. I know, well, it was a white lie, she answered. It was a test you needed to take to get into the school. You did really very well on it, by the way. So you lied, I said. A white lie, yes. Sorry, she said, trying to smile, but when I didn't smile back, she turned around in her seat and faced forward. What is a lamb to the slaughter? I said. Mum sighed and gave Dad the look. I shouldn't have said that, Dad said, looking at me in the rearview mirror. It's not true. Here's the thing, Mummy and I love you so much that we want to protect you any way we can. It's just, sometimes we want to do it in different ways. I don't want to go to school, I answered, folding my arms. It would be really good for you, Augie, said Mum. Maybe I'll go next year, I answered, looking out of the window. This year would be better, Oggy, Mum said. You know why? Because you'll be going into 5th grade, and that's the first year of middle school for everyone. You won't be the only new kid. I'll be the only one that looks like me, I said. I'm not going to say that this won't be a big challenge for you because you know better than that. But it'll be good for you, Oggy, she said. You'll make lots of friends and you'll learn things that you'll never learn with me. She turned in her seat and looked at me. When we took the tour, you know what they had in their science lab? They had a little baby chick that was just hatching out of its egg. It was so cute. Oggy, it actually kind of reminded me of you when you were a little baby with those big brown eyes of yours. I usually love when they talk about me when I was a baby. Sometimes I want to curl up into a tiny ball and let them hug me and kiss me all over. I miss being a baby, not knowing stuff, but I wasn't in the mood for that now. I don't want to go, I said. How about this? Can you at least meet Mr. Tushman before making up your mind? Mum asked. Mr. Tushman? I asked. Yeah, Mr. Tushman, he's the principal, answered Mum. Mr. Tushman, I repeated. I know, right? Dad answered, smiling and looking at me in the rearview mirror. Can you believe that name, Oggy? I mean, who on earth would ever agree to have a name like Mr. Tushman? I smiled, even though I didn't really want to let them see me smiling. Dad was the one person in the world who could make me laugh no matter what, no matter how much I didn't want to. Dad always made everyone laugh. Oggy, you know, you should go to that school just so you can hear his name over that loudspeaker, Dad said excitedly. Can you imagine how funny that would be? Hello, paging Mr. Tushman. Hi, Mr. Tushman. I see you're running a little behind today. Did your car get rear-ended again? What a bum rap. I started laughing, not even because I thought he was being that funny, but because I wasn't really in the mood to stay mad anymore. It could be worse, though, Dad continued in his normal voice. Mummy and I had a professor in college called Miss Butt. Mum was laughing now too. Is that for real? I said. Roberta Butt, Mum answered, raising her hand as if she was swearing. Bobby Butt. She had huge cheeks, said Dad. Nate, said Mum. What? She had big cheeks, that's all I'm saying. Mum laughed and shook her head at the same time. Hey, I know, said Dad excitedly. Let's fix them up on a blind date. Can you imagine? Miss Butt, meet Mr. Tushman. Mr. Tushman, meet Miss Butt. They could get married and have a bunch of little tushies. Oh, poor Mr. Tushman, answered Mum, shaking her head. Oggy hasn't even met the man yet, Nate. Oh, who's Mr. Tushman? Via said groggily. She'd just woken up. He's the principal of my new school, I answered.